I don't have any fancy editing software or non-fancy editing software for that matter, so I'm doing this pretty rudimentary. This is my first YouTube video of any length, and I would welcome any and all constructive criticism. I don't know that I'll ever try one again, but we'll see, right? So the options that were added from the dealer were this luggage mount system. I'll show you the luggage on later. The luggage goes on in under a second. It's really nice stuff. It's made by GV and outsourced through Triumph. Triumph has GV put their name on it, and they have some name for this luggage. I forget what they call it, but it's GV Trekker aluminum top box and panniers. I had this red chain adjusting block put in. It was $35 and just added a little red color. I find it worth it. A little detail, and it sent me on a course of adding other additional red color accents to the bike. The engine guards are the Triumph engine guards. They work fine for me. I don't ride much off-road. I did drop this twice off-road, once in the mud, once in the sand, and twice in a parking lot, unfortunately, and they served the purpose, did fine. The directional on this side broke and punched through the side cover. Triumph sent me all new parts for free, which was really nice. And I put these much smaller LED directionals on to try to avoid that happening again in the future. The heated grips is an option on this bike. There's a add-on button there. It's two temperatures, medium and high, I guess, or low and high, whatever you want to call it. Well worth the money. They work awesome. Use them often. They're great. And the tire pressure monitoring system, worth its weight in gold. I absolutely love it. I think that's a different valve stub you get when you go to that. I can't believe it was only $140. They're battery operated, and the wheels need to be spinning to engage the batteries to save on battery life. So you can't turn it on in your driveway and see what your pressures are. You have to take it for a spin. I'd say in under a minute you'll get a reading. So if you go right up the street and see that your tire pressure is low, you turn around and head back to your garage or your local gas station and bring your air up to where you want it. And that is it. Oh, the radiator guard, yes. This is a Triumph radiator guard, if you can see it. Aluminum, and it's sturdy, pretty strong. I've done quite a bit of riding in loose rocks and never had an issue. The luggage and liners I'll show in a little bit. Aftermarket items, sorry for all the walking around to get my notes. I put this GV Airstream windshield on because going from the BMW RT to this bike, I was really going to miss my electric windshield. So I put this on. You can do it while you operate it while you're riding. You unlock these two levers here, pull it up to whatever height you want. It's raining, it's cold. You can pull it up that tall to get more of the air off of you. Push it down when it's nice and warm. Lock it in place. It's a great job. Does a great job. I've never had any issue with it. I don't think it does any buffeting or adds any turbulence to my front end. If I'm going riding in the dirt, I don't want this bulky thing in front of me. It just pulls right off, and I just have a smaller shield in that case. The Pugue rear mudguard, $142. It's right here, if you can see it. It seals up that space nicely. I think that's a space where you're going to throw a lot of dirt and mud onto your shock, your monoshock, and undercarriage here. And that thing includes the chain guard and does a really nice job. That was $142. I also put a fender extender on the front. The mounting of that didn't come out like I hoped it would. You can see it's a little messy, but it just extends down to the skid plate and helps keep a lot of dirt off the front of your motor. That was $35. I put on these highway pegs. They were $155, which was a lot of money for highway pegs, and couldn't get a really good mounting section on the engine guards anywhere. So they're at an angle, not optimal at all, but they do work. I can kick it out with my heel, rest my foot on it or the back of my foot on it, and just to stretch my knees out while I'm riding. I wish I could get them at a more horizontal mounting position, but they do work. Never used it, but they also have this little cap on the end that can unscrew, and you can store waterproof matches or some cash or whatever you want to hide in there as well. I have never bothered. I put these SW Motec mirror wideners on for $53. That's this unit right here, and I found those well worth it. When I didn't have these on, looking in my mirrors at my shoulders, using these to kick my mirrors out, big upgrade for me. I really liked it. I also always put these little convex mirrors, stick-ons on. They're $5 on Amazon, and they give me a nice view of the lane right beside me, which I appreciate. For $10, I bought this rear brake reservoir cover on eBay to add some red. I also got, I think this is a Triumph, and I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't much. The oil filler cap in red. And then the levers are Triumph levers that also came accented in red. When it tipped over in the driveway, it broke the clutch lever. That was the motivation to buy new levers. I got a Triumph headlight guard for $75. This thing works great. You can see it's Triumph brand. It's on rubber gaskets here that I can just pull it and pop it off. And what I found is I lubed them up with some wax before I put them back on, and they're much easier to put on. But it just pops off for cleaning underneath, which I don't have to do that often, but I do it on occasion. And I'm really happy having the comfort of that guard on my headlight. These Denali DR1 2.0 lights, $375 for the lights, $41 for the bracket, $50 for the controller, $27 for the wiring kit. Brings them up to $493. Not cheap lights. Worth every penny, I think. These things are super bright. They're high and low beam, controlled with my high and low beam switch. They also have an off and on switch that they added that I honestly never use. I've never had a time when I wanted to turn them off. If I'm riding behind my buddies or into traffic at night, I put them on low beam. Otherwise, they're on high all the time. They light up the road amazingly. Really helps with side lighting, hopefully to pick up a deer. It's reflective eyes, and just see way further down the road. Worth every penny. Sound bomb horn, $75. When I blow that horn, people think there's a truck beside them instead of me. It works great. Worth every penny. Super loud. I'd never have a bike without that on it. I also had this Add More brake light put on. So that brake light lights up with the addition, with the brake light as an additional brake light. It also has an accelerometer in it, so it detects when I let off on the throttle, and it lights up with that. Kind of a pain in the neck for buddies that are riding behind you and think you're constantly stepping on your brakes, but good to keep the attention of cars behind you. And I've had lots of guys that I ride with tell me how much they love that light and how much they want to get one. It really is super bright and gives a lot of attention to your brake light when it lights up. You may have seen there's also a GV toolbox on here, $89.71 for the mount. When I mounted it per instructions, I didn't know it at first, but I kept getting this scraping sound, and the sound was this toolbox was hitting the chain guard. And what I did was I just kind of Mickey Moused the mounting myself. Well, not Mickey Moused it, but made it work. Raised it up higher into the luggage frame, and it's fine now the way it is. I think it's watertight. I've never had an issue with it. I got a lot of stuff in there. My tire repair kit, an air compressor, a big tool kit. Very useful item. Very happy with it. On top I have Velcro patches that I mount my transponder for tolls, and I think the rest is luggage. So I'm gonna stop this and go get the luggage for it, and I'll show you that and go over it quickly. I got numerous pieces of luggage for it as well. As I mentioned at the first video, I'm not sure how I'm going to put these videos together because I don't have any editing software. I'm not knowledgeable in that. I'm a real beginner. This is my first YouTube video. If I didn't say that already, it might be on another video that I don't include. So real quickly, I bumped into this Triumph Tiger. I had no intention of buying one. I had never even heard of it. I've been riding over 50 years now, and it's the best bike I've ever owned. I absolutely love it. Super comfortable. I've ridden really long distances on it, over 2,500 miles. It's very functional, it's very sporty, it's got plenty of speed, an awesome sound, beautiful ride. I love the motor, I love everything about this bike. I was going to buy, I had a BMW RT and I was going to buy a brand new one, and with the options added that I wanted, that bike was coming up to $28,000. I did not want to spend that much money on a motorcycle. This bike was $13,473 with all the dealer options added. I bought it in December of 17. It's a 2016 leftover. The dealer lopped a chunk of money off the price of the bike to help sell a leftover. It had gone through the 16 and 17 selling seasons without selling. This is December, so beyond his selling season. And Triumph, to help the dealers sell their leftovers, threw in $2,000 worth of luggage and the mounting hardware, which he installed for free, and they gave me a 1.9 financing as well. So this bike was $13,473 all toll. Like I said, the BMW RT was going to be 28 grand, so less than half the price of that bike, and honestly more comfortable than the RT, and certainly more versatile. Let's see, the dealer options that I got were the swing arm caps, $25, the red chain block adjusters, $35, tire pressure monitoring system, $140, worth 10 times that, heated grips, $221, worth 4 times that, radiator guard, $105, engine guard, $192, top box backrest pad was $90, the pannier liners, $130, and a big tail bag, $235. I don't know if I'm repeating myself or not because it's on a different video possibly. Oh, one other item that I didn't mention is these, they have an interesting name, if I can find it. I can't find it. Art Moto something. I had written it down. Anyway, these hand guards, I'll demonstrate them. They have another 2 parts that go to them. So these are in the hot weather version with a big wide opening in the front. That opening has a plastic plate that closes it for cooler weather, and it has an inside guard that you can raise and lower for even more coverage for cold or rainy weather. It's an awesome design. I wish I could find it on my sheet because they weren't cheap. I guess I forgot to write it down. I'll look it up. They were over $200, so they were expensive. Really nice design. The couple of downsides to them. One is they're big. They were hitting my Airstream shield, if you can see that. I had to cut and file my shield away to get full lock in here because of their size. And also I had a parking lot drop, I think on the other side of the bike, and when this handguard hit the pavement, it broke into 3 pieces. That was really a drag because they're made out of these like cast material that apparently isn't very strong on, you know, given a hard whack with a drop. Machine Art Moto, that's the name of it. I had to gorilla tape it together to get home with it the way it was, and then wrote to the company. They asked me to send them the broken one so they could investigate it, and they sent me a new one right away, which was nice of them. So not sure about the functionality and the design for a whack, but as far as hand protection variables, it's a great design. I'm going to go to a second video to do the luggage. Thanks for watching.